is the key to getting more out of life. It's not just wanting it, it's also, they say, setting boundaries, right? And it's hard. I have to admit, I have a difficult time sometimes with boundaries. Our next guest, not invading people's boundaries, setting for my own, I could explain that better. But our next guest, Melissa Urban, is a co-founder of the Whole30 Diet and a 7-time New York Times bestselling author. Her latest book, The Book of Boundaries, might just be what we are looking for. She gives the keys to manage all of our relationships, from the ones at work to relationships to mother-in-laws. Yikes, take a look.
Let's talk about the boundary phrase that isn't really a boundary, even though you think it is. This one's gonna come in handy when you've got a family member who wants to help you in the kitchen and you don't want them in there. Or your mother-in-law says to your child, you have to finish your plate, I'll sit with you while you do that. It's this: oh, you don't have to. Our intention is please don't, or no thank you, but it's not clear. You don't have to puts the ball in the other person's court. I know I don't have to, but I want to. And now you're stuck, when what you should have said all along is, oh no, I don't want any help in the kitchen right now. No more you don't have to. Instead, we say what we mean.
Oh, Tam Fam, please welcome back to our show, New York Times bestselling author, Melissa Urban. Oh my God. Welcome back, of course, welcome. So listen, I stumbled in that intro because that's how anxious I get when I talk about boundaries.
I know.
You have a whole chapter dedicated to moms, especially because you say we struggle with telling people no.
We do. We struggle, especially women and especially moms. You know, I think boundaries feel like they're very intimidating. Other people tell us that they're controlling or that they're selfish. Maybe we think boundaries are about telling other people what to do. There are a lot of misconceptions, and we feel a lot of guilt when we set them.
I thought about you. I was watching Beyonce's documentary, and I know because everything goes back to Beyonce. She said she no longer wanted to be a people pleaser.
Yeah.
And so often, if you feel that that means you're not setting boundaries because you're trying to make everyone else happy.
Yes. So often, and again, especially
you hear all the women say yes?
Yes, I do, yes. We have been conditioned by the patriarchy and stereotypically rigid gender roles and religious influences and trauma to be small and to be compliant. And when we do have a need and express that need, we're often told that we're selfish, we're cold, we're controlling.
Which is the irony because, I like to think of the Tam Fam as just a group of strong people, and to hear our audience who projects this kind of strength, or to see someone like Beyonce who's a Virgo, and you know what that means because I'm a Virgo, to then struggle with the insecurity of boundaries. Because I feel like for me, sometimes you feel like if I set boundaries, they're gonna think I'm mean, or they won't like me, or I'm not making them happy.
Yes, well, okay. And also,
I feel like I'm in therapy.
We have to take responsibility for our own needs and our own feelings and our own comfort. So often, we are not on our own list of people who should be happy, people who should be comfortable, people who should feel safe.
Yeah.
And we should be on our own list. There's nothing to feel guilty about for having needs and for advocating for those needs clearly and kindly with the people we're in relationships with.
So you give some examples. You have an example, for example, in-laws who show up unannounced all the time.
Oh, yeah.
See, whenever you start going to the in-law thing, my heart starts racing. I have great in-laws, too. Hey, Carol. Hey, Judy. Hey, Larry. No trouble, no smoke. But, but you say they show up. You have these areas here. You start with the green, which is the gentlest approach to boundaries.
You need tiered boundary language because the first time your in-laws come over without calling, you're not going to slam the door in their face. That would hurt the relationship. And boundaries are designed to make a relationship better.
And full disclosure, my in-laws live out of the city, so I don't have this problem. This is not me. Again, this is not me.
It's not me either.
Okay.
But if they come over without calling the first time, you would say a green boundary, the gentle language would say, oh, hey, next time before you come over, would you please call and give us at least an hour's notice?
Okay.
That way, and you would not explain this to them any further, that's your request.
It, right.
But yeah, you don't want them to disrupt your entire family just so that they can
So now you go to the yellow zone of setting boundaries.
If they come over again without calling, now we're treading into kind of rude territory.
So if someone does something to you the second time, we said, fool me once, shame on you. So now you're at the fool me twice.
I might use more direct language. I might say, now isn't a good time.
Wait a minute. Melissa, you go to red, you don't answer the door?
Well, wait, we're not there yet, though. We're not there yet.
I'm sorry.
I know. But listen.
Okay.
If Carol continues to come over after you've asked her not to, after you've asked her to call, after you've told her it's not a good time, and she shows up again insisting that you disrupt your family time to accommodate her visit, yeah, I wouldn't answer the door. And that's not rude.
That's not.
No, her behavior is rude. But you want to give them every opportunity to meet you in this limit before you go to the red.
Going to the core of the book, which is so phenomenal, you say set the limits that will set you free. Because that's what this is about. It's about setting yourself free.
It is. Yes. My first boundary, we talked about this before. I'm a drug addict with more than 23 years in recovery. And the first boundary I ever set was around my recovery, and I was so afraid to set limits, to tell people, please don't use in front of me, don't bring drugs into my house, because I thought it would make my life so small. And when I set that first boundary, when I said, I can't be here, this is not safe for me, I need to leave, I realized that I could feel empowered to advocate for my own needs and comfort and safety, and it expanded my life beyond my wildest dreams.
Oh my goodness. Well, congratulations. We love you. Thank you for coming back on the show. Melissa's book, The Book of Boundaries. It is available at bookstores. Check it out. It will change your life. And Tam Fam, you're going home with a copy.